person. So we're on page 18, and we just talked about proactive and reactive lead generation. So we're going to go into when markets shift, new strategies are required. So when markets shift. So I was talking at kind of as we were getting lunch and you were sharing some stuff. So can you stand up and just kind of share with the group what you were telling me?
Well, I told her that I've been in the market, I've been selling real estate since 1986. And when I first got in the market, you couldn't finish banging the sign into the lawn without having 4 offers on the property, and everyone was over asking price. And then in 1987, the stock market crashed, and the market just turned off like that. And I've been through several shifts like that over 30 years. And it happens instantly. I mean, all of a sudden you're making tons of money, and I would say from 2000 to 2006 or 2007, I couldn't make it fast. I mean, I couldn't spend it fast enough. And then all of a sudden 2007 happened, my income got cut in half. And it wasn't because I wasn't generating leads. I had the same number of listings or even more listings. They just weren't selling. And when those listings didn't sell, those sellers didn't buy. And your income just disappears. So she's right, put your money away and don't build up your expenses because it's coming. And it always does. In 30 years, I could probably tell you it's happened probably 15 times. And not as, this last one was the worst. But I would say there were other times where it just slowed down a little bit, but you really had to, bite the bullet and cut your expenses and watch your spending.
So if you could give them any advice, what would it be?
Proactive lead generation, especially the new agents. That's really what it's about. I didn't have a problem with lead generation, although I wasn't getting enough motivated people. Because those people that bought in 2004 and 5 when the market was hot and now had to sell, they couldn't sell because they owed too much money on their house. And they just decided not to move. They took it off the market. I'm getting those people now, though.
Because you stayed in contact with them,
Oh,
right?
I always stay in contact,
Right.
yeah. And, I do different things to stay in contact with people. I send out magnets and, I see a lot of you guys do it. I have American Lifestyle magazine I send to about 50 people every other month. I just got a call yesterday, because this woman's on my list. I sold a house for them, it was an investment property years ago, that they sold and took $70,000 out of their pocket to go to settlement. But now she has a $600,000 or $700,000 house in Warrington she wants me to look at to sell for her.
So what did you guys hear? Prepare, right? Time to prepare. Yeah.
Proactive lead gen and effective expenses.
Right. Because it happens quick. Right? It's not like you have time to prepare when it happens. Right now is the time to prepare, right? Right now is the time to be putting a little bit of money away, making sure that you're not increasing your expenses, making sure you're kind of going through and is your money making you money, right? Is your money making you money? Yeah.
When this shift occurs, how long do you project that the money for value to be up?
I don't have a projection on that. You can never tell. You can never tell. What we know is history and what history tells us and how long cycles last, but I mean, if I knew that, I could be a gazillionaire.
This last shift was the worst that
Yeah.
I've seen in 30 years.
And what I'm
And it took a long time for us to get back.
Yeah, and what I'm seeing this time, which is different, is that home prices might be going up, but the appraisals are kind of helping. Last time the appraisals were off too. This time, my husband sells real estate, and he's had over the last couple of months, the appraisal issue starting to pop back up. He's like, I'm like, what is the appraisal? I'm gonna fight it, go ahead. But you know what I mean, like so we do have that kind of safety net, so I don't think that when we do dip, it's gonna be as terrible, but you never know. This world, there's so many things that could happen, right? When we looked at it, we looked at macro, we looked at micro, we looked at local things that could happen, right? If interest rates go up 15%, and they stay there as long as interest rates have been low, right? Just something to consider.
Well, the appreciation.
You never know.
This time is not as dramatic as it was back then. You know, 3 years it was 26% a year.
Right.
So there was no way an appraisal could keep up with that.
Right.
So now it's been a little more gradual.
Gradual, just coming up, right? We're probably right where we should have been if you look at over the history, right? We're probably right where we should have been. I think that's what Gary's slides showed us at family reunion this year. We're kind of right where we need to be.
I think we're right at like 2006 to 2007 prices.
So if they bought a home in 2006 or 2007,
They can sell
they
it for
could
what?
sell now
Mhm.
for what they bought it for.
That's depressing.
It is. I bought my first home in 2007.
Well, I mean, it makes people question the reason for buying a house, and that's appreciation and tax deduction, so.
This shift created short sales. Because all of the other shifts, there was no such thing as a short sale. If you wanted to sell,
That's true.
you had to bring money to the table. Okay? And this one created short sales. I never heard of a short sale before
Right.
2007.
Yeah, John.
A lot of first-time homebuyers today are not taking into account the value of owning a home. We're trying to educate first-time homebuyers that their mortgage payment is probably less than the rent they're gonna pay, and they have the tax benefit of the write-off.
And
So,
hopefully that they're building equity, right?
right.
Hopefully. And a lot of, so if you think about it, the first time home buyer now is about how old do you think?
27.
I think they're 30 or more.
Okay.
What is it?
I bought my first home when I was 22. So, is that young?
Yeah.
Okay. So, how about if you bought your first home when you were 27? Is that a safe? So say 27 is when people buy their first home on average. 10 years before that is what? 17. So they were 16, 17, probably just starting to really be able to comprehend, their brains were starting to be able to comprehend and understand what was going on. And what did the news say? What did the media say about the market for the longest time? It's coming down, there's no equity, you've got a short sale, you've got foreclosures. So over the last 10 years, they're formative years, if you're thinking about it like that way. What happened? What were they kind of told?
They were waiting for the bottom to drop like the lowest they could possibly
A
get.
17-year-old doesn't think like that. Maybe a 37-year-old does. 37-year-olds, I mean, 17-year-olds are like, I'm never buying a house. That's crazy. They saw their parents losing homes. They saw their parents losing jobs. Right? They saw a lot of crazy stuff happening when they were in their early adulthood, coming in and getting ready to go into the market. It was scary for them.
live with my parents.
Right.
That's a good point.
I have friends that are 32 years old, still living with their parents. I kick them around every once in a while. Okay, so we know that market shifts, and when it does, new strategies are going to be required. So we have to adopt an opportunity mindset, right? We've got to seek only motivated buyers and sellers, not the ones that just want to go out there and kick the tires, right? Price ahead of the market, don't chase it. Make condition of listings stand out. Make your listings stand out, right? Motivate buyers with sense of urgency. Qualify and convert leads quickly. We talked about that a little bit already today. Catch and convert leads in your web. So if you are doing internet lead generation, making sure that you have a really strong system now around that, right? Bulletproof your transactions all the way to the closing. Find out where the market is and get into it. Do more with less expenses, services, and people, and learn alternative financing options. Okay. The theory of equilibrium. So let's go to the next page, and I'm on page 19. What goes up must come down. In a seller's market, we're agents join the industry for easy pickings, right? In a buyer's market, there's more competition for fewer transactions, and agents who lack skills and stamina end up dropping out. So what we know is that from 2007 to 2012, 500,000 people got out of real estate. NAR
That
lost
was good for
Five-
us.
That was good, yay!
100,000 people, right?
And a lot of them should have gotten out before then.
That's a lot of people though, right? I don't want any of those people the next time around to be you.
And I don't think they've all come back. I don't think that same number has come back.
No, they're probably not. It's a big opportunity in a shifting market for people who have stamina, who are doing proactive lead generation. It's a big opportunity for you, right? Because as people are getting out of the market, and who's left, right?
Here's a stat for you. Our board, our local board, BCAR, was 2,800 back a little bit, a couple years ago. Now we're at 3,200. So we are increasing.
Now you are.
Now we are.
What was it before the
28.
crash?
I don't know.
So, looking at NAR, 500,000 people getting out of the business, that gave us a pretty good indication that we were in a buyer's market. Would you all agree? Okay. When markets shift downward, time to reach equilibrium is unknown. So, the question was asked earlier, when the market shifts, how long will it take for it to rebound, right? And nobody knows.
A long time?
This
there?
last shift took a long time.
It did.
It took about 3 years to actually stabilize.
So it's a myth that tough times are only a short duration and agents can wait it out. You can wait it out if you have enough reserves, if you have enough proactive lead generation going on that you can sustain. But if those things aren't there, if you don't have money, if you don't have cash to kind of back you up for if times do sink, you don't have enough money to cover your bills, you're gonna have to figure out something else to do, right? The truth, no one can predict when the market will shift. The market might not change for several years. So what we have to adopt is that opportunity mindset. You're gonna have to look at different ways to do business. And when the market shifts, it's all hands on deck, right? It's everybody needs to, I do a football pose, right? So in a football game, when you're getting ready, this is my football pose. It's awesome. So when a football game's happening, what are the players doing?
Getting ready.
Is there somebody just like, what's up? Get ready for this play to start. Or are they all in it? Right? Everybody's in it. They're all watching, right? The quarterback's watching. The defenders are watching. Everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing, right? What happens if the center doesn't snap the football and it doesn't get to the quarterback right?
Delay the game.
Turnover, delay of game, right? They fumble the ball right there, and then what happens?
Quarterback plays.
So,
Hands full.
so can he just say, sorry? Wasn't really. What do you think the coach is gonna say to him? Words that I can't use in front of the class, right? But it's all hands on deck. Everybody needs to be paying attention, right? Everybody needs to get in it. And if you're looking at that analogy, all hands on deck. So prospecting, converting appointments to contracts, cost control, negotiation, bulletproofing, customer service. Are you using the best possible people around you? Are you with the best company? The answer to that is yes. You're with the best real estate company, right? Are you affiliating with the best title representative? Are you affiliating with the best loan officers that can get the deal done? How about home inspectors? Do you have the best people on your team? It's all hands on deck when that happens. One of them can't drop the ball either, right? Your role as an opportunity warrior. So, on page 21, there are so many opportunities that happen in down market. So when the market shifted the last time, something new came, the short sale, right? And you saw real estate agents who had never been in the business before get into relationships with banks and get these short sale opportunities, right? They were the ones that the banks would call them foreclosures, right? REO agents, all of them, right? They had opportunities that all of a sudden they were in the business 2 years ago, and now their business has exploded. And I don't know about you guys, but from my experience, and if any of you are REO agents, I'm going to say sorry before I go any further, but I'm going to say it anyway. My experience with my agents is that the REO agents didn't get back to them, they weren't very nice to them, there was a lot of negativity around that. But there's a guy named Josh Menti who was in my office, and Josh Menti was a REO agent. And I gotta tell you that Josh made sure that his team understood how important the transaction that they were working on really was. And he said, I want you to understand that the people who are buying this home, this is the largest financial transaction they will probably ever make, and I want you to treat them and their agents with the utmost respect. I want you returning their calls, I want you to be patient with them, I want you to be responding to them. And Josh got this reputation of being one of the best REO agents in Baltimore. He's got a really successful team today. The other thing that Josh did was, when he was working with the people who were buying the homes and all this craziness, he made sure that the agents knew that if they had any questions at all or any problems, that they could contact him directly. That he had a team that was the first line of defense. But if there was something else that happened, that they could contact Josh. And so this is what happened. Over those years, Josh got this reputation of being like amazing. Everybody loved him. And so then this team got a small REO account, and the guy couldn't keep up with it. Like he was like, it's too much. Like, how are you doing it? And Josh started training him. And then that guy who was at a different company came over to Keller Williams and named Josh as a sponsor, right? So there was an opportunity just in Josh for just treating people the right way. And it didn't come in another home sale, but it came in an opportunity to grow his profit share tree. That guy told everybody how great Keller Williams is. And Josh's profit share tree expanded like tremendously. That guy recruited like 20 people over the next 2 years, and they're all now in Josh's profit share tree. So how cool is that? There's opportunity everywhere. Have a plan. Know what you should be doing at all times. Know your strengths, leverage them, and execute. Delegate tasks that you don't do well. So how many of you would say that you are the absolute best person ever at turning in paperwork? Christine, there we go.
Yeah,
Winner.
Christine.
That's the worst.
My transaction manager does it, not me.
But you have somebody that does it for you, right? So that's not your. I mean, you guys don't just stay up at night just putting all your paper together and looking at it and saying what a great job you did. That's not what you do. Having people in the
Oh,
we talked
see,
about
she
that
says I'm
earlier.
good then.
What's that? What'd you say?
I said she's gotten much better with her paper.
Good. Delegate tasks that you don't do well. That's stuff that you know that you need to do. You've got all kinds of rules and regulations around that. Becca loves you when you turn your paperwork in on time. She told me to tell you that she loves all of you anyway, but she really doesn't. And you might get a gold star on your next transaction if you turn your paperwork in.
I actually have gold stars thanks to Christina.
So far, she hasn't given me a gold star.
But you're working on it.
Yeah.
My check is my gold star.
Fair enough.
Yeah, you don't get that unless your paperwork's.
That's right.
Yeah. No love notes.
But having that opportunity mindset, so thinking of what opportunities can you be giving to other people? Is there somebody else that could have an opportunity over the next couple of years as your business increases, right? Is the opportunity just for you, or is it for other people around you? So just think about that. So I need a volunteer to read something for me. And I want somebody who is fierce, that's gonna like really own this next thing that we're gonna do.
Let's do it, John.
Alright, so on page 22, I got a volunteer. I want you to stand up. And I want you to. Page 22. I want you to stand up and I want you to, so listen, I want you to own it. Like, own it. Like, I want you to feel what you're about to read, okay?
I am a market maker, and I will make my own market in whatever condition that exists.
Yes!
I am an opportunity warrior who is able, ready, and willing. I am a knowledgeable, research-based real estate consultant.
Yes.
I understand the big picture.
And the affordability index. Go!
I am a professional. I am committed to guiding buyers and sellers through the process.
Yes.
More than ever, sellers need me to sell their home.
Yes, they do!
More than ever, buyers need me to help them buy a home for the best price.
Yes! How'd she do?
Awesome.
So, I'm going to be completely vulnerable with you guys. When my husband got into real estate, I had a copy of this and I put it on his desk. And I told him that every morning he had to like do this before he started making his 3 hours of lead generation calls a day, because he has to do it because I'm his wife. And I hear him up there still today read this before he gets on the phone to make his calls. And he even said, he was like, at first I thought you were crazy. He's like, but it really does, like, he's like, I read it. Like, I really read it. And if you ever meet my husband, don't ever tell him I told you that. He probably would be upset with me. What did you get from this?
That I can do it.
You can do it. Yes.
I'm the owner of my destiny.
You believe in yourself.
Believe in yourself. Owner of your own destiny. It doesn't matter if the market shifts, right? It's not all doom and gloom. It's just a matter of what you do and how you change your behavior that's going to plow you through. Because you're like, honestly, none of you have to have a dip in your business. And it's a myth to believe that. But what is also a myth is that you can continue to do the same thing that you're doing today, and that's going to get you there, right? You've got to change your behavior. So this is one of my favorite parts of this curriculum. So on page 23, gain market share in a slowing market, maintaining your volume, increasing your share. So in this, you see that this says 20, 35, and 50%. Which, if anybody had 25% market share, I'd be really, really, really happy for you. But in this example, so sales volume, your market, the amount of sales volume you have. So in this example, it's 20%. If the market shrinks and you just maintain what you've done, you actually increase your market share, right? Because if the market shrinks, you're maintaining what you're doing. And so in here, this market share is now 35% of the entire market. And then the next one, it's shrunk even more, and now you're at 50%. So does that make sense to everybody? So even if you just maintain what you're doing through a shifting market, you're actually you're positioning yourself to be in a much better situation should the market go back up, right? So let's look at this. When you're gaining volume, so now you're at 50%. So you probably will maintain the market share that you've made, right? You're not going to lose ground. You're going to maintain, but what's going to happen is the volume is going to increase, right? So if, in this example, 50%, look how much bigger it gets. And look how much bigger even. So your 50% of the pie is of a much larger pie, which is pretty exciting, right? So the market's going down, and you're doing everything that you can to stay the same or go up. You're doing your proactive lead generation every day. You're doing the things that you know that are going to sure that that is happening, right? You haven't increased your expenses and you've saved some money, so you know that you're good, right? You've got a clear mind. You don't have to worry about that. All you have to worry about is getting in the game. And then when the market hits the lowest point, you're still fine. But your market share has increased. And now the market's gonna start coming back up again, and now where are you? You're in such a better position, right? You've made it through it, your market share has increased, you've maintained that, because you're gonna continue to do proactive lead generation every day, right? And then coming out of it, it's gonna be huge. So now is the time to start thinking about that. So if we know that we've got 2 years, potentially, of the next ride of the market, right? What are some things that you can be doing right now? Bold. You were sharing some cool,
We're seeing it right now. We had 30 people go to Bold that started, was it February? February. We are having our best month ever for written sales contracts. We're at 243. Our highest prior to that was 205 in July of 2015.
Whoop, whoop.
April. We haven't even hit the cusp of the spring market, the summer market. Bold works. It makes you uncomfortable. It makes you do things that you might not do otherwise, but it works.
Right. So bold, right? Getting the education that you need now and putting things in place and implementing things now. So is bold part of your strategy for this year? Is bold part of your education plan that you have for yourself? Have you budgeted for it? Do you have a budget? What's the plan? All right, so master your skills. Focus on the basics. So, shifted markets challenge you to reflect on past and current practices. It challenges you to return to the basics in 8 ways. So number 1, assess your skills and look for ways to improve. So Becca nailed it, right? She saw into the future and knew what the curriculum said, right? Go to Bold, master the basics. If you're brand new into the business, make sure that you attend Ignite. Make sure that you're going. There's Win with Buyers is right here, right? There's Win with Buyers coming up in a couple of weeks that's literally like across the street from you.
If you're brand new, invest in Bold.
Right. It's an investment.
You can't learn anything that happens if you go to Bold first.
Right. Keep up with your education. Be a student of the market. Understand. Be the local economist of choice. Right. So Gary talks to us about that. He and his research team do months and months of research that they deliver at the Vision speech at Family Reunion every year. I would say that Gary kind of knows what's going on in real estate. Wouldn't you agree? But it's because he does the research. So you may not use the affordability index as something that you use with your buyers and your sellers, but it's certainly enough to educate yourself on what's going on in the market. Knowing how many months of inventory, and John said that there's a sheet that you can pull from Trend, right? Looking at that stuff on a regular basis and being a student of the market and understanding what's going on, and then following that up by being a great communicator. Make sure that your buyers and your sellers know. Make sure that your marketing pieces are timely. The region does something called the language of real estate. Some of you probably have seen that, where we compare ourselves to Trend. And if you haven't, make sure that you like the Greater Pennsylvania Facebook page, because it's going up tomorrow. And it shows 4 different markets and how we're doing. So be a communicator. Make sure that your buyers and your sellers know what kind of market it is. Lead generate for 3 hours a day. That's important, you guys. Talk confidently with sellers about pricing. We hit on that a little bit earlier, right? When we said, if somebody comes in and you've just listed your house for $277 and somebody comes in with an offer of $260, can you talk confidently about selling with your sellers right now? Can you talk confidently about the price and if you think that it's a lower offer than it should be? motivate buyers to buy. This might be important for all of you right now, especially as the market starts heating up even more and more buyers come in and they're like, I'm just gonna go kick the tires and see if I like this one, run all the knobs. If they're serious about buying, you gotta explain to them the type of market that they're in, right? Convert leads to appointments. So assessing your skills. Again, know your market, prospect, try new sources for leads, know your scripts, make offers to generate responses, have a clear, concise, unique selling proposition. So does anybody have a USP, a unique selling proposition that you use in your marketing materials? John,
Yeah.
what is it?
Basically, our experience, our professionalism, our staging, we have like a written statement.
Awesome. So that makes you stand out versus the competition.
Yep.
Awesome. Anybody else? I think that could be a cool class, a brainstorming on how to create a unique selling proposition. If you guys don't have one, or maybe you're just not telling me what it is, maybe, I don't think that you guys have not been shy so far, so. All right, so let's look at the next page. On page 27, I want to give you a couple of minutes, and I want you to fill this in. These are your areas of improvement. So consider, in what areas could you improve your business? And I want you to take about 3 minutes to kind of write down, based off of what you've learned today, is there something that you want to bring into your business? Is there something that you're not doing right now that you want to do? So take a couple of minutes and fill that out. And then the action items, what you'll do to make sure that that happens.